The legitimate MVP. I'm just going on an NBA rant now. Do you watch NBA, Aussie?
I actually do. I'm a little sad that I don't think the Pacers have a minute, but I really, I like me a good Cinderella story. I can't
I
help it, man.
so behind the scenes, just so you know, that's a really hot take here. So Sims and Boogie, two directors here, huge Knicks fans. But actually, I'm wearing my Mad Ants shirt right now. So as you can tell, I live close to the Pacers. So even though that's not my team, I'm excited to see them in it. Hopefully, if they can close it out. But nonetheless, I just know we have a lot of NBA fans. I'm a big NBA fan. We got Olympus tonight. There's not. Oh, I hear myself in the background. Sorry, I paused. So Titan Olympus tonight. I don't know if people heard me before, but we had no sound before. So all right, I'm Brendan. I'm gonna be your host this season. This is Titan Olympus. This is what used to be Slash All Piltover. Now we've teamed up with Titan Esports. They've kind of absorbed us, and they're taking over both our teams. Berserker was yesterday. That was our old Zon. Piltover is now Titan Olympus. We have some of our returning teams. Tonight we actually have our former champions from last split taking on some longtime Slash All now Olympus players. So excited to look forward to the games tonight. Excited for the season. And I don't want to hold up anyone anymore. So I think if Valve is here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it around to the actual casters tonight and get out of your hair.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, Brendan. Of course, thank you for giving me the opportunity to cast here once again. And I'm excited to get into week one here with my friend and fellow caster, not a Valve game, as we are still fixing stuff up here. So please give us a minute. Um,
Well, he could still impersonate me while he's
yeah.
sitting there, you know.
I
He's
I
got
am
he's got
just
my name tag and he looks nothing like me though. So I mean, it'd be if he showed up at like the DMV and tried to be me, like it would not go well. Because he looks nothing like me. He definitely weighs like 50 pounds less than I do. Uh, even though he looks like a pretty built dude, I am you know, how do I say this? A little chunky yet funky. Is one way we could put it. But let's talk more about the game and less about my features. The set that's coming up tonight. Tell me about these teams. Tell me about what we know, what we're expecting.
Well, we'll start this one off. So we have the Fools 5 Vanguards, I believe, showing up here today, of course. Now for me, I will say I think this roster could do a lot of good, but I kind of suspect that this Fools 5 Vanguard roster might actually end up being in the middle of the pack here. Now that being said, Fools 5, this entire week have been absolutely popping off. I'm almost confident that every single FF team has won their series. So still, the Vanguard looking to continue that streak for the Fools 5 organization. Now that on the opposite side, right? Crime Syndicate, Brendan said it. We're looking at like potentially them taking another win here under their belt. Obviously, not going to be the same roster. It's going to be Codus in support rather than D-Shot. RIP D-Shot, bro. Hope you're well. And then obviously, we'll show them all as well. Also different jungler, but still close enough to being the same roster that this team looks just so deadly. Watercat showing back up in the mid lane here for us. That was just a phenomenal roster point, I think, for being Chillers last season. Obviously, they're now Crime Syndicate. And Espada, just as overall solid all-around top laner.
You know, was it us that casted a set between the Fools 5 and the Bing Chillin last season? Towards the end of it?
Yeah, I think we might have, yeah, to be honest. Like
I knew I recognized a few of these names, specifically Watercat. That's one that just popped out to me. I remember I believe was it no they were the victim of a massive Orianna ult combo. That the Bing Chillins were a victim of that combo. That I remember that. It was a sight to behold. We'll see if the history repeats itself this time around. But we are, kind of, waiting to see. So you mentioned this top lane, right? I don't. You are much more, knowledgeable on these players than I am. What this matchup? How are you feeling? Does it go a particular way, or do you feel like it's just kind of dead even?
I mean, more so, I just think Espada is just such a phenomenal top laner in this like bracket, in general. That I'd be really shocked, if there was a better top laner like overall on average, every week than Espada here. Might be a hot take. Might be some Espada glaze going on for me. So we'll have to see, of course. I'm willing to be proved wrong here, so please prove me wrong. Anyone else in the league, show what you got, show up, give us some good competition here. But yeah, I think Espada looking to continue to be a very, very, very good top laner here for the Crime Syndicate. And I'm very curious because I think, especially like last split and like slash all at like 4 Piltover, they had some roster issues at like the Pink Chillers had roster issues at the start of the season, and then they kind of like smoothed out the roster a lot, and it really enabled them to just kind of never drop another game. Obviously, I think they still dropped a few games after the acquisition, but they had a really strong topside core. I forget who their jungler was at the time, but But yeah, Espada, just a phenomenal player. I think Watercat as well, incredibly deadly, has a very, very, very flexible champion pool between the two of them that it's going to make playing Fearless into them very hard.
We mentioned the Fearless Draft, how, each game, this is a best of 5 set, if I'm correct, right?
It is a BO3, I believe.
Oh, it's a BO3. So this one won't be as
I think it's a BO3. I might be
okay.
wrong.
So it won't be as dire, and you won't have to go down as much into your champ pool as some of the other sets that we've casted together. But in this one, there are certain picks that I know some people have standout performances in, certain picks and whatnot. And we did just get confirmation that it is a best of 3. But is there any of these players that have picks that like you cannot let them touch that, or is it just we're fine, ban the meta stuff?
So personally, I feel like you definitely we're getting into the bracket where meta is starting to matter more and more, right? So obviously, still need to keep an eye out for things that are coming up in the meta or are meta. Things like the Senna, which has been making a very large appearance so far. It's been after the buffs, been showing up in open qualifiers. It's been showing up professionally as well. So need to look out for potentially Senna here in for either squad in the bot lane, as it is also being flexed to the support. So it is kind of dual flexible there. Teams playing around with the center support. As well as AD carry, even though the buffs were mainly to farming Senna. So definitely looking forward to seeing Senna more on the Rift. Smolder, though, actually got a hit with a nerf on this patch. I don't think it's going to be that important. But still a Smolder nerf, so less likely to see him on the Rift. A big one for me I want to point out here is I actually think that in particular, not necessarily the goodness, what am I trying to say? Like, spit it out, man.
I mean, you know what? You can continue talking as we go into draft. We'll see exactly what they are going to spit out to play in the games coming up in this week 1. So now, what was your point you were going for?
All right. So the point I was going to bring up is actually Samira getting very big changes. So I'm excited to see if maybe some teams are going to be playing around with Samira, as draft is going to be getting started here very soon. Just to point that out here, as will be the Kaisa ban away, I believe, in the first ban slot.
It's a pretty cool forehead.
I am going to tilt my camera down just a little bit.
It looks like the images are a bit off the mark, but the Graves is the response ban right now. So it's not focused on your forehead? Is this an insult at you? You know what? It might have been. Viego is the response ban by Fools. So it looks like Jungle's been a pretty good focus. Ivern, another one.
Yeah, I mean, junglers, pretty important, especially in the skill bracket. A lot of people really start playing these, like, more carry-style junglers. Obviously, Ivern not one of them. Poppy going to be banned away here for the Vanguard as well. It is a forehead-only stream. That is Darius being banned away from Vanguard here. To talk about a bit more about the Vanguard, as we're kind of waiting for picks to come in here. Vanguard has some names I recognize and some names I don't recognize, as J4 is going to be the first lock-in here for Vanguard. We'll have to see if it pays off well for them. Obviously, a lot of the mobile champs still available, as Nefuri, I would imagine, is going to go in the jungle. Should have a pretty decent matchup into the J4. Shouldn't really be worried about getting caged, because you can just flip yourself right on out. And Corki gonna be locked in here. I've seen quite a bit of Corkis. I'm not sure what the fascination is with Corki, to be honest. I personally don't think Corki's that great right now, because every time I've seen him, he's not done well. Jin is gonna be locked in here for the Vanguard as well. But to continue talking about Corki, I feel like Corki's not in a good enough spot to warrant, like, blinding him right now. But that being said, could be worse. Could have picked like, I don't know, like Nealer or something completely blind. So obviously is also flexible in the, like with that Corki pick, could go mid.
Looks like Seraphine is going to be what's paired with the Jin here, as we are looking to see what the third pick is before this middle ban. Nami is the pickup. And we do have, it seems like you, the viewer, could see, but we're having a bit of issues behind the scenes here at seeing exactly what is going on. Katarina is the ban for the Syndicate here. And we'll see what they're looking to focus out again. I assume they're going to look towards the mid lane. It looks like mid and top are the two roles that both teams need. So Fiora taken away. We'll look for the response ban. But what do you think the Syndicate and the Fools, respectively, well, Syndicate took away, should ban?
You know, honestly, they ban away the set there. I mean, I think a lot of pressure on this top lane, especially towards Espada, would be good for them. Now, that being said, it looks like that's Vanguard going to be banned away from Watercat. That's a bit of a Watercat special. So Ornn going to also be locked in here. I think Crime Syndicate has a decent comp going on. They're still keeping that Corki Flex alive, which is very fantastic. Now, with the Jin Seraphine and the Akali lock in here, looks like maybe Vanguard trying to play a bit more of this pick style comp now, despite having like the wombo combo between the J4 and the Seraphine. Obviously, it's actually going to be Shen. Something I did want to bring up. Shen looking very, very strong right now, especially with a Titanic Hydra Rush. Looking very, very, very good.
I mean, right here, especially in a neutral matchup like this Ornn, it is a lane that's really not going to be too active. It's just kind of going to be, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's going to be a farm lane. Shen's going to use that ultimate to rotate out and get active on the map. And Ornn is just kind of going to be slowly coming behind. And he's going to be like, guys, I'm on the way. I'm trying to make it there. I have to use my teleport, but I'll make it there eventually. But yeah, it's kind of just a farm lane, and then we'll get active in the team fight phase.
Yeah, I mean, also, though, Talia's left available in the draft, and I worry a bit for Vanguard here. You picked Akali knowing Talia's left up on the board. Talia's going to be the R5 for Crime Syndicate. So I'm a little worried a bit for Vanguard. I think like their main like damage dealers are going to struggle a lot into the Talia. The Talia, obviously, really, really fantastic champion right now, to the point she's getting banned quite a bit in professional play at the moment. As yeah, honestly, I really see Crime Syndicate's comp just being just so much better, even like despite my
dislike of the Corki.
Caution about Corki. I think they have a better comp here. I think Talia really, really solidifies it. And obviously, right, they're gonna have like the Ornn Horn to really to utilize here to help peel. And it's gonna really come down to whether or not Vanguard can find those early opening picks in team fights like fast enough before it just spirals out of control.
I mean, realistically, it seems like this Syndicate comp is one that kind of just gets in there. Granted, they do have some harder time getting in there with a character like a Nami, but everybody else kind of can just get in. But at the same time, you have a lot of defensive tools from the Fools 5. You do have the Seraphine, Seraphining. You have the Akali Smoke. You have the Shen with the taunt. You've got these counteracting, methods that you can use to, defend against that. But you said you like the Syndicate's comp. What do the Fools 5 have to do for their? It looks to me, this looks like a pick comp, a cut and dry pick comp. In that you've got CC to set up what you're looking for. You look for somebody who's isolated. You cage them. You taunt them in. You lock them down, and you just kill them with all this damage you have. Who do they need to find first in these fights, or is it just anybody?
I mean, for Vanguard, they really need to just find. If they can find Talia, right? That's carpet you don't have to deal with. If you can find like the Corki, that's a significant like DPS loss from their comp. I just find that Vanguard's comp is really gonna struggle to find those angles. like, I just don't see a world in which realistically Vanguard should be given those opportunities unless Crime Syndicate really misplay, which, you know, is possible. But I also think like Jin's not gonna not that great here. Like, you're really gonna struggle to like really have any kind of impact here. Orenhorn going to be able to be utilized to potentially stop your curtain call. You can also use, you know, is so tanky against the Gen in particular that might be a bit of a pain point for them to get through, especially with an Akali. They're kind of lacking a bit of DPS here, but if they can find their targets, and any target that's squishy enough to just get blown up, they have a more than enough CC to get it done as well. So if they can get onto those important targets, there is a world where Vanguard can find themselves in a very preferable position to snowball the game.
Well, I agree with that. The Corki is kind of just like the prime target for this, because I feel like everybody else, Ornn's going to be difficult to kill after a certain point. And I mean, obviously, you pick off the Nami. All right, you killed the support. Everybody else kind of just has a means to get out of like the cage, but it's just the getting to the Corki is the hard part. And I feel like J4 has to commit so many resources to get to them, and Shen's gonna have to commit so much to get to them. It's just such a difficult time to do it, and it's like kind of walking through a minefield in a way. But now we see the Syndicate on the one side. You like their comp. You like the engage tools that they have. How does the dream fight start? The Orenhorn, or is it just everybody's going crazy?
I mean, look, the Crime Syndicate here, they can just sit back. They don't have to go in, right? Like, they have no reason to go in. They have perfectly enough poke in their comp between the Corki and the Talia to just sit back and wait for Vanguard to engage first. Because they have so many good responses. You have the Tidal Wave, you have Call of the Forge God, you have the Talia Carpet, right? Like, you have so many ways of preventing their engage or disrupting it that I feel like you'd be a bit foolish to try and initiate a fight. Unless you like get an early pick or something, or like you get a lot of damage done. Then you can look with maybe like a Nefiri plus Call of the Forge God duo engage, but I'm not necessarily sure that Crime Syndicate are going to even attempt to go in. I would much prefer them just try to play it a bit more chill, get people low, and then commit. And then also doubled down on it with the Seraphine. But the problem here is I don't understand why they doubled. Oh. Are we out? Oh.
No, we're...
Alright. Sorry, we are going to be getting into game here in just 1 second. We are good to go. Gonna be launching this one up here as, yeah, we're gonna get into the game. But as I was mentioning, right, I think Vanguard really doubling down on like the J4 Wombo combo and then completely drafting against it makes very little sense. As yeah, I really don't understand what Vanguard was doing there. But yeah, I just don't understand. I just don't understand what like Vanguard's idea was, especially like with this Akali pickup. You're line picking Akali, which it is a Senja champion. Senja a bit more well known for these like AP assassins mid lane, but even then, right? Like I don't understand how you can just like draft the J4 Seraphine and not really have a supporting cast around it and just give up on the identity, especially with how much draft stock went into it.
I mean, it seems like a lot of thought went into that part of it, and then what would you want to see paired with it instead of what came with it? I feel like the Akali is something that doesn't really follow up with that before, like as well as I'm thinking of like Orion, like big burst sort of caster style mid laner is what I'm thinking. What characters would you think are ideal in that situation?
I mean, if you're gonna play good team fighting champions, play good team fighting champions around it, right? Like you're drafting the Seraphine, you're drafting the J4. I mean, Jin's obviously not the worst thing in the world, right? So I'm not gonna knock on the Jin here, because Jin in a decent state right now. See it quite a bit professionally. I like Shin, obviously going to be helpful because it's just more frontline for you, has some pick potential and some good CC potential, and a lot of save ability between Stand United and also the W to block auto attacks. But I just really, maybe I'm just not more of a fan of the Akali. Could have just picked something a bit better at providing your team some kind of team fight potential here, especially when you're already lacking DPS with your comp. With the Jin pickup, but we'll have to see how Senja plays this Akali, because it kind of is going to come down to whether or not picking it is going to pay off.
Yeah, it's already the get in there sort of situation that's a problem, and the Akali, how is she getting in there? Everybody's gonna have to like overcommit their resources for it. Shen is taking so much damage, by the way, but it's everybody's got to commit their resources to get in, and then how are we getting in, We could have been a poke in this bot lane right now, and this is looking a bit dangerous. But the heal from the Nami makes it a bit more safe right now. But look at top. J4 making his way over. Taunt is in, but the Ornn gets the dash at the perfect time, and the chase is in. Unstoppable is the Ornn, and now the knockup misses off the mark. Espada in danger. Espada getting first blooded here. The Shen secures it for himself, burning the flash to make sure it goes into his pocket.
Yeah, really, really, really well played there from Fish and Smoke to find a early kill on Espada, but hold that thought.
It's dangerous in the bot lane, but it looks like Jin is trying to get that kill for himself. He has all of his shots loaded, but is he going to get it in time? No, Seraphine, the flash, forced away from this Corki, and Jin's looking to get in. He gets stunned out, though, and there's a lot of damage. The flash forced away.
Oh my goodness, so volatile in this bot lane so far. This Corki got a little low there, but really excellent usage of the flash to make sure he is safe. But yeah, watch out. Yangu is now here on this Nefiri. Can at least push them off the tower. And that's kind of a pretty big loss, especially if Smoke goes down in the top side.
Smoke! Dangerous, man. That is super. See, he played with fire there and he got burned. I mean, you played with the Fire Forge God. I mean, what did you expect? Overextension, and he had that first blood too. I mean, that's just an error. That's got to be the calculated mistake right there. That is completely avoidable.
Yeah, just didn't want to use the reset. Watercat should be okay here in the mid lane. I'm just going to use the Talia passive to ride right next to the wall, get the bonus move speed. Fish not going to find anything on that mid play, unfortunately, for Vanguard. However, we've seen so much volatility in this bot lane, and it's just going to get worse as items coming through, as it's actually going to be a cold purchase for RJ on the Gen.
What do you think about that?
Playing a little scaly here. I mean, I don't necessarily mind it. You're playing with Seraphine, so playing a bit more to scale here. So I mean, honestly, it's not necessarily a bad potential, but I think with how much fighting's already been happening in their lane, that it might be a little too slow. But I will have to keep an eye on the bot lane for that one, because if it is too slow, then yeah, it's not going to pay off. But really nice trade from Espada here. It's a little low on mana though, so that is kind of the benefit of playing Shen. Use some of your HP in cost for your mana.
That is so goofy looking.
Such like quite a bit of damage here to hold this top wave, but is going to hold it in a preferable position for himself.
I mean, he was buying his item. He can't be bothered by such little things as little minion damage. Like, what? Why would he care? You know, he was buying his item. He was building his item, excuse me. He wasn't purchasing it. He was making it his own. Homemade. Right there. But Espada, at this point, he's probably just going to be sitting under his tower, making sure he's safe. But the Jarvan's here, running away from the Nefiri. Looks like a bit of a pursuit is coming down. Corki slowing him down, but nothing really is going to come of it this time around. Jhin does get the root off, but a little bit of poke.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm very glad Vanguard just decided to not overcommit there. Like, they did see Nefiri right on the heels of Fish. And they decide to call that one off. So, thankfully, they are able to do so there. As, yeah, that could have been a complete disaster for Vanguard. But they recognize and walk that one away. So far, quite a bit of focus here at the very least from Yengu on this Nefiri. In this bot side, as Drake is going to be started up here. Vanguard's bot lane has reset, so a little off tempo is Vanguard on this play.
They do get warded.
Very healthy, yeah, it's very healthy. So
it'll take a long time here. They're posturing around it. Looks like the fools are kind of waiting. You know, they're waiting to go in here. The Jarvan throws the flag over the wall. He's going to look to dash over with that grab. The smites are going to come out. Who's going to get it? And it looks like it's stolen away by the fools right now. And you're looking like a fool because you missed your smite on time. The Nefiri trying to slip away, but we're on the chase. Smoke has made his way over. And like a flash, gone goes the Nefiri.
Hey, Nefiri using the flash there, but not enough. There is actually a kill in the mid lane that we just barely missed. They actually find Aqua.
I was not expecting that.
I can't believe they find a kill there. Carpet used up early, not enough. And they find a very free kill in the mid lane. Well played from Vanguard. I was a little sketched out, but I forgot. Haven't been casting Shen very often up until, like, basically these last two patches. Stand United comes across, and it is more than enough to get them over the edge. They find a very, very fantastic steal by Fish as well. And overall, they're in a nice, comfortable position now in the lead as they find themselves the first Drake is Espada, getting a decent trade back in here on Smoke. But yeah, that Stand United usage from Smoke was just absolutely what they needed to convert that play for them.
Look at Corki going in here, but the J4 has made his way back, and it looks like he's going to go down. That umbrella hurts, but the Jhin is going to pick up the kill. One shot off the mark, but the rest, Jarvan caps her in the cage, and that's 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. Put down, double kill, going to the pocket of the Jhin.
Hey, you know what happens? You flash in front of J4, and J4 is just going to cage you after the fact. As unfortunately, Koda's going to fall down. They are losing the grubs on the opposite side.
Smoke, they're fighting for it.
Smoke, though, not going to find anything. And that doesn't find the steal either.
Nefiri's in, though. Nefiri wants to chase. The Ornn gets the knockup with that ultimate, but Smoke is taking too much damage. Nefiri finds a return kill. Akali slipping away.
Yeah, they do find a return kill. A little aggressive there from Smoke to try and maybe potentially steal off that last grub, but doesn't find anything, falls down. Regardless, though, really excellent play from Fish on this J4 so far. You know, first picking it, it's looking wonderful. 0-0-5 on it. Has participated in every single kill so far. So is doing a fantastic job. Smoke, obviously, falling down there in the top side is a little unfortunate for Vanguard. But outside of that, they're up 1,000 gold here at just under 10 minutes. So they are more than happy, especially when you're playing with like a Seraphine comp, right? Like, she's going to be scaling up in the later stages of the game herself. So you're happy, I would imagine. Also, Kali on the board now as well, 1-0-1 after that mid dive. I can't believe they found that kill.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. But, you know, one thing that I'm trying to see if they can, you know, abuse is obviously the Shen ultimate makes it so that he can be at these fights, right? But at what point do we try to bait the Shen ultimate and have the safety to slip away? Because we do have these get-in measures as we do get in the bot lane and a lot of damage coming down to Fury coming from stage top side and looking for more. But in the meantime, top side is getting another gank. Akali on the way, saving the bot side, but top side still under pressure. There's 3 up there right now looking for this Ornn. Ornn having to reset. He's looking to, but he does get out. No, he teleported away.
Yeah, uses the teleport at just barely not enough time from Fish to cancel it there. As Kali going to be wasting quite a lot of time here on the top side. Still in this tri-bush. They're going to look for this play again. No teleport now on Espada. Pretty used up.
Yeah, and that's just, after a certain point, you're kind of just, you're hoping you can maybe get the knock up on the wall, but you're kind of just screwed. There's nothing you could really done in that situation because they're both full health. Maybe you could turn around the kill onto the J4 if you live long enough, but that's wishful thinking, you know. But no, we're talking about all this mobility, all these potential playmaking spots, right? Where do we need to see a change? Do we just try to force fights on top side so the Shen can't teleport down, or do we look to force the Shen ult and make something happen, back away? Like, what are we looking for?
Simi almost gets caught there. She does get out, but yeah, to speak on your point here, I think you need to find ways to maybe bait out the Stand United, as it is going to be their Heartsteel first purchase for the Shen. Pretty standard so far. Personally, I think rushing Titanic Hydra is a bit better. I'm not really. I'm kind of biased against Heartsteel. I'll be honest. I hate the item overall.
Why?
I mean, every time it gets built, it's like it's just the most useless item, I feel, but we'll have to see how it turns out.
What exactly is the purpose of it, and what's like the cons in the pros versus the Titanic?
It gives you some, I mean, it's like a scaling item, right? Like, it gives you scaling HP. A lot of champions use it a lot better than others, right? But, like, it's more of a scaling item. And it gives you scaling HP. It's just an item with a bunch of HP on it. But it's kind of pricey, so like you do have that to account for. But I guess in a lane, specifically against Ornn, you're kind of wanting to scale because you want to kind of match some of Ornn's scalability because it is an Ornn. So the Heartsteel here isn't necessarily bad, so I'm not going to give it too much hate. That's a nice spawn up, white smoke, and yeah, you see the burst damage there. That is the benefit of Heartsteel. As they're just fist fighting here on the top side. A lot of damage being traded back and forth. Expect their damage numbers to be high in this game. Second Drake, though, going to be started up and taken by Vanguard. Nothing answered back just yet. As Espada going to miss the dash, or miss the timing on the dash there.
A lot of damage coming down. The call of the Forge God is here. The knockup is to follow up. Can we get any kills? No. It's just a little bit of damage. It's a lot of damage. These guys are just beating the hell out of each other. It looks like the meeting of the jungles and the mids. Looks like the Akali's gonna have to slip away because the Nefiri and the Talia are a bit too much for her. Now, we see that the Cloud Drake, I believe we've discussed this almost every time we've cast together, the Cloud Drake, who benefits more?
Honestly, Vanguard really would like it. It allows them to move over and try to find more picks with the move speed, but either one would really enjoy it, right? Like, Cloud Soul's such a strong soul. As Espada baits up, but could just go down.
He almost just died because of that, but now he might die because of it, because J4 is here locking him down, putting the walls down to make sure he can catch up to this Nefiri. The taunt comes in, the damage comes out, Nefiri trying to buy herself some time, but not enough time is bought. J4 gets a double kill for himself. Fish gobbling that up.
Yeah, now it's going to put Water Cats up here in the top lane to catch this wave so they don't lose tower. As nice bubble land here from Codis. Curtain Call going to be used up.
Curtain Call hits 2 shots, the third one off the mark, and the fourth one off the mark, unfortunately. We don't get the perfect 4 this time around. It looks like a lot of trading is going on in this bot lane now, and it looks like we're a bit more comfortable, you know. A bit more comfortable, especially when we see all the action going on the top side. We can get aggressive, and we force out the Curtain Call. I don't know if it's forced out, but, you know.
I mean, it's a really good usage because it forces out the heal, so it did force something out, you know. Forced out the heal from Codis on the Nami, so really solid trade. Jen gonna opt for the Yuntao's Wild Arrows in this match, so kind of need to keep an eye on that one. Interesting pickup here from the Jen so far with the Cole plus the Yuntao's. Something to mention here as well. Smoke having a pretty good time in this top lane as a very nice counter gank from Fish to find the kill on Espada and also Yangu on that Nefiri. Vanguard, this is what they need to do with their comp. They need to try and snowball as hard as possible and are doing so pretty well. Storm Surge first on the Akali.
Looks like a big amount of damage is coming through. The Talia's making time to get active. We're looking at this bot lane and the Jhin on the run, but we only can run so fast. There's a lot of shielding and a lot of healing, but not enough. Seraphine goes down.
Yeah, Stand United also going to be used there, and it's not going to be enough, so going to be on a very long cooldown here. Fish.
Fish is in, and Fish is looking to put them in the cage. We put one down. That's the dog. We followed up with the other Fish getting put down. RJ picks up one for himself, and the rest are on the run. J4 still looking, though. Fish is still looking. We slow down the Corki, but the Corki's going to have to use that package to slip away. Akali's here, though. Akali's looking for some damage, and Sinja puts him down.
I mean, somehow what could have been a very solid play for Crime Syndicate completely dissolves into disaster as everyone, that they only picked up Seraphine, and Fish just comes in, and the Herald going to be driven into the tier 1 tower. Picks up first tower there in the bot lane with that Herald. But to point out, right, they only got the Seraphine there. And Fish comes in and just completely, like, two-taps both.
Yeah, it got to disintegrate
there. That was some absolutely disgusting damage coming across from the J4. It's looking a bit scary now for Crime Syndicate, even though I gave them the favor. Really nice seismic.
Oh!
Zimmy in trouble.
Zimmy's in a lot of trouble, and the dog's on the hunt. The taunt is good, but Zimmy goes down all the same. Followed up by the Nefiri. And the Nami goes down right after. 2 shots hit on Watercat. 3rd shot, and the 4th shot will be off the mark because the flash comes just in time. We don't hit him with the root, so this mid tower is just going to have to be our prize.
Yeah, I mean, really solid play again from Vanguard. They only find the Seraphine. Zimmy baiting up a little bit there. Playing really, really well, though. Despite getting picked out twice now. It doesn't really matter because your team is there to clean up. And it pays off for Vanguard once again. They find 2 kills and a flash off of Watercat there. I don't think they found the Corki. Yeah, they did not find the Corki there. So just 2 kills. As Drake is going to be spawning up here. Of course, this is still fast track soul potential for Fools 5 Vanguard. As they are looking to lock down their soul points. Espada getting traded on quite aggressively here from Smoke.
J4's looking to go in, though. That knockup was insane from the Talia, though. That prevented everything that the Fools wanted to do right there. Man, I thought that was going to be a great engage from the J4, but Cat just absolutely stuffed it.
Yeah, really, really, really well played by Watercat there to prevent any potential engage. Also had the carpet down as well. And with that, hits a very nice seismic shove. So no potential to go in there. That is something their comp struggles with a bit, but this off-tempo that they gave up all of this river control now means soul point on the table for Fools 5 Vanguard. Looks like they are willing to give this one up, as they're going to try to get this mid tier 1. Should be able to get this one pretty quickly, but the collapse is on.
The collapse is on the way, and we're looking to catch whoever we can. The J4 traps one, and that is the Fish. We're putting the Fish in the bowl, locking her down and putting her down. Unfortunately, the goldfish don't live too long. The Talia shuts down the J4, but we put down another one. The Corki falls.
Talia hits a crazy seismic shove there. Does so much damage, actually, even though just sitting on Seraphs and some components. Basically just one-shots for J4, but should have enough wave clear here to stop anything from happening to this mid lane turret, at least for this wave. And Stand United going to be used up there by Smoke to join, of course. That's kind of what's been winning Vanguard these fights, is just numbers advantage, right? Espada has yet to really show up to any of these. Because he does not have Stand United, unfortunately, on the Ornn.
He unfortunately does not have Shen Ultimate as Ornn, you know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't get access to a basically free teleport attached to your character. So Vanguard really playing this pretty well, especially looking for plays more so around the stand united rather than like overcommitting and then losing with even numbers.
I mean, right now, we are... If we're the syndicate right now, are we looking for just farming to get back into it? Because we're only about 2.6k gold down, give or take. And it's not insane, but it's still noticeable, obviously. Are we just looking for the opportunity, or are we just looking to farm up and wait until this late game? What's our way in?
Well, your way in here for Crime Syndicate, they need to find some way of shutting down just like the numbers advantage issue they've been having. Also, Sinja 4-0 on the Akali now. RJ 5-0 on the Jhin with the IE built up. Really nice shroud usage from Sinja, but look this.
We're looking to go in. We interrupt that ultimate with the J4. The J4 cages too, but he will go down. No, he will not. The stand united means we stand united. Smoke pops. 2 of them out. And that is a third one going to fall immediately after. That is a double kill going to the Jhin. We're going to chase down this Nami, but is it even worth it? We don't really care that much. This mid tower's on the way.
Yes, they are going to get this mid tower. Sinja going to use the teleport to do something about this tower? Question mark. Gets the dash away.
We get the dash, but we're looking for the chase. We get the knock up, and the Nami's going to go down here. Smoke picks up one, and then another one goes in the pockets of the J4 and Ace. Locked down, completely wiped. Baron might be on the table soon.
Will be actually the Atacon spawned up here. Baron not up for 3
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, Baron's not up for another 2 minutes.
Baron doesn't spawn for eternity now, but Atacon for sure going to be the prize potentially here for Fools 5. They do need to be a bit mindful. Something that's been happening a lot is when you pull the Atacon, you lose so many resistances across your team that almost every fight, they don't seem to know that they're on this, so, or at least they're vying to give it. But you lose so many resistances that you can lose any kind of ensuing fight after the fact. It happens very common. But they do lock this one up cleanly and are going to be able to take their resets now. As the next objective, spawning in a minute 25, is going to be the Cloud Soul for them. So they are going to be able to utilize all of this gold they just got and turn it in to potentially a soul taken away from, or like any opportunity for Crime Syndicate to get on the board here. As honestly, Crime Syndicate have to find a way to be able to fight this soul, because I think if they don't get it, the game becomes very, very dire at that point for them.
Yeah, this is a fight or die moment right now. You have to get something done at this next dragon, because if you don't, it's just kind of, what do we do now? Looks like Nami might be getting caught here. The J4's in. The J4 locks them in, looking to set up the Nami, but the Nami is able to slip away with that flash. The wave comes out, but it's the last thing they'll do. We'll wave goodbye. The train coming through. Not going to hit anybody, though. Fish on the chase. Seraphine flashes in, gets that taunt, gets that root. We lock him down, and we'll show them all. We'll show them all at your funeral. Gone. He goes. Looks like we're continuing on the chase of the Crime Syndicate here, trying to commit some murder. But we're not going to get enough done to get any kills for ourselves. Looks like the Fools are looking for this dragon.
I mean, this should just be Drake, unless Yangu can find any potential steal opportunity. They are also going to lose their mid tier 2. Maybe even the tier 3, they're going to just go take the soul, so... Really, really unfortunate fight there for Crime Syndicate. They really needed something to go in their favor. Unfortunately, it's not even going to be that fight. As it was a decent look, Aquafilas even hitting the seismic shove onto RJ did not even matter. RJ not even needing to use the barrier there, so... they will find themselves soul. It is going to be the Cloud Drake. Going to be quite powerful in their hands. As... Gonna give Akali a lot of move speed to play around with. Same with the J4 and the Shen when he joins with Stand United to maybe get into a good position. They obviously also get the out of combat move speed, which is very nice. Going to be able to roam the map quite fast. But yeah, overall, Vanguard showing a very, very phenomenal performance. Is RJ potentially getting caught?
Look at this, though, because the call the Forge got, we're going to call, and it's going to answer. Ring, ring, you're getting knocked down.
I can't believe that killed, but Baron is spawned up. RJ Runs in a straight line. Tries to outrange the Call of Forge God. Is unable to do so. However, Baron not going to be started up here for Crime Syndicate. But hey, they do finally find a win that they needed. RJ going to be gone down. Sinja in a very interesting position.
Looks like we're getting an interesting position. By interesting, we mean gone. Looks like we'll show them all again, and we'll show them all that it's a double kill for Sinjin. And that is... Oh, wow. We got a really good pick, and it's kind of falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just the downside of being so far behind. You don't really get to maintain your vision control. And even with just one pick, there's so many deadly members on this Vanguard squad in this match that just picking off one is not going to be enough. As Sinja finds a double kill. Well, I mean, I don't know if Sinja got the double kill, but you know, they find 2 kills overall. As Baron, only thing up for at least another 4 minutes, so should be the next objective to be played for. And if you're Vanguard, you more than likely want to try and end it before the Elder is spawned up.
Yeah, I think that right now you're really hoping. That pick was really, really good, and we got a shutdown on that Jhin. But we gotta find another opportunity here, because we were supposed to be the ones who are, okay, yeah, we need them to fight into us, but not when they're, like, galaxies ahead. It looks like Smoke trying to get involved, but not yet. J4 with the dash in. The Call of the Forge God, we're calling. Can we answer this time? Knock up onto 2, and we're looking to go even further. The Corky has to jump away, and that is a massive CC lock and lockdown. Pop, locked, and shut out completely. Double kill for the J4. RJ picks up another. And the orange gonna fall immediately after. That is a complete wipe, and it might be the end.
Could just be the end here for Crime Syndicate. Looks like they're just gonna do Baron instead. Okay, well, not confident they can end here, so they are gonna do the Baron instead. But what a phenomenal play from Zimmy on the Seraphine. Just easily picks up 3 people with the Encore there, and it just completely turns the fight. So much more in their favor. Was looking a little sketchy with how that play was going down, but Zimmy stays calm, finds the Encore, and propels her team forward with this Baron pickup. And Crime Syndicate, they need to figure something out because their time is slowly ticking away here. Honestly, there is some hope. If Crime Syndicate can fight a good fight around Elder, maybe there's a world, because it doesn't look like this Vanguard squad is going to be ending before the Elder unless another team fight happens, but Crime Syndicate should be able to prevent that from happening. But when this Elder does spawn, they are going to need to find a win, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Elder is just going to seal the grave completely. So it's just kind of situation where you don't want this to happen to Spada. We're talking a lot about you before. It looks like we're talking a lot about you now because you're going down. It is a...
Oh my
getting
goodness.
caught. But look at this. So much damage. Sinja takes down the Nami. Godlike in appearance, godlike in damage. Takes down another. Triple kill going into her pocket. Almost a complete 1v3 there.
Yeah, Stand United used up there, but also something to point out is I just said Crime Syndicate should be able to prevent themselves from getting like fighting, but there they are trying to fight once again. Watercat gonna use the ultimate there, the Weaver's Wall, to slow down some of these minions. As actually, nice seismic shove lands for some poke. Smoke literally does not care though. Finally decides he doesn't want to take tower.
I mean, right now, we're just, sieging this base nice and slow. We wanted to get the Baron before. We wanted to get, now we're getting this inhib. We're waiting. We can take our time. I don't know if we have to, but we can. Meneferi's back up. We got all 5 back up, and it's a 5v5 once again. This in-hit turret gonna go down. The J4 is looking to lock him down, but he only catches one. It's the Nami. The Nami will pop immediately. Fish locking down the fish. We know something about the water, and the water is looking murky right now because it's filled with the blood of the Syndicate right now, and it's only one left, and it's the Orin Espada. We'll see you later. You can soak up in this fountain because we're gonna take your Nexus.
Yeah, this should very easily be the end here for Vanguard, as they're going to be able to maybe get another kill here onto Espada just for the numbers. Will not do so. RJ's trying, but they aren't going to find it.
The Smoke's just like, come on, guys, like, end the game.
Yeah, end the game. Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like just end the game, right? You definitely want to you definitely want to try and end games cleanly, but they do find a clean end there. 37-7 is the end of kill score. Crime Syndicate just having complete crash out, I guess. Like, that game just looks so miserable for Crime Syndicate, even though I give them the draft edge. It doesn't matter. Vanguard show up when it matters, and really smoke with the Stand United coming in clutch to give them that early game advantage. And just kind of, they never let their foot get off the gas pedal. The only bad thing that ever happened in this match for Vanguard was RJ getting caught mid once, and it didn't even matter.
Yeah, it did.